The most dangerous person in the room is rarely the loudest. It's the one who doesn't need attention, the one who doesn't chase approval, the one who doesn't explain. Bruce Wayne understood this. Silence is power. While other people are talking, defending, justifying, Bruce Wayne is watching, calculating, saying nothing at all. And somehow that silence makes him more powerful than anyone else in the room. Why do you always feel the need to explain yourself? Why do you seek validation from people who don't even respect you? Why do loud people often appear weaker than silent people? What if your greatest source of power was saying less? By the end of this video, you'll understand why Bruce Wayne's silence didn't just protect his identity, it made him psychologically untouchable. And once you understand how, you'll never look at silence the same way again. Bruce Wayne never wasted energy proving himself. He didn't argue with criminals before defeating them. He didn't post his achievements. He didn't seek the approval of the people he protected. He let his discipline speak. He let his actions speak. He let his results speak. This is the foundation of something most people never learn to master: silent power. And becoming untouchable has nothing to do with muscles, money, or position. It has everything to do with emotional control. Because the moment you stop needing the world to validate you, the world loses its grip on you. This is what Bruce Wayne figured out long before he ever put on the mask. Part 1. Why Bruce Wayne never explains himself. Watch closely, and you'll notice something strange about him. He never defends his choices. Not to the police, not to the press, not even to his closest allies. He simply acts and lets the outcome speak for itself. Most people can't do this. Most people explain themselves constantly. They justify their decisions to people who never even asked. They over-explain a missed text message. They defend a choice nobody questioned. Why? Because explaining yourself is, underneath everything, a request for approval. It's a quiet way of asking, "Do you still accept me?" And every time you explain yourself to someone who didn't earn that explanation, you hand them a small piece of power over your identity. Bruce Wayne never does this. Not because he's cold, but because his sense of self doesn't come from outside approval. It comes from within. Ask yourself honestly, how much of your energy goes into managing what other people think of you? How often do you repeat yourself, defend yourself, soften yourself just to be understood by someone who was never trying to understand you in the first place? This is the first wall Bruce Wayne built around his power. He stopped explaining. And the moment you stop needing people to understand your every move, you stop being controlled by their opinions. Part 2. The psychology of silent confidence. Here's something most people never notice. Real confidence is quiet. Insecurity is loud. The criminals Bruce Wayne faces are loud. They announce themselves. They monologue. They need an audience. Bruce Wayne says nothing. He doesn't need the room to know he's powerful. He simply is. This is the core difference between confidence and performance. A performance needs witnesses. Confidence does not. Notice how Bruce Wayne never argues to prove his worth. He doesn't debate the Joker's philosophy to win an argument. He doesn't try to convince his enemies that he's right. He already knows who he is. And when you already know who you are, you stop needing other people to agree with it. Most people confuse confidence with volume. They think the loudest person in a conversation is the strongest one. But watch closely, and you'll see the opposite is usually true. The person who needs to dominate every conversation is often the one most afraid of being unseen. Bruce Wayne never competes for attention. He doesn't need to. His presence does the work that words usually try to do. This is what silent confidence looks like. Not the absence of strength, but the absence of the need to prove it. Part 3. Emotional control is true power. The moment someone controls your emotions, they control you. This is the most underrated truth in Bruce Wayne's entire psychology. His enemies don't just want to defeat him physically, they want to break him emotionally. The Joker, more than any villain, understands this. He doesn't want to kill Batman. He wants to make him react, scream, lose control, become something other than himself. And every single time, Bruce Wayne refuses. He absorbs the chaos. He stays calm in moments that would destroy most people's composure. This is not the absence of emotion. Bruce Wayne feels everything: the grief, the rage, the loss. But he's trained himself not to let those emotions dictate his actions. This is the difference between response and reaction. A reaction is immediate, emotional, and controlled by someone else's behavior. A response is calculated, intentional, and controlled by you. Most people live their entire lives reacting. Someone insults them, they explode. Someone ignores them, they panic. Someone challenges them, they collapse into defensiveness. Bruce Wayne never gives anyone that kind of access to his emotions. This is mental discipline. And mental discipline is the quiet skill behind every disciplined life. Ask yourself, how much of your day is spent reacting to things that don't deserve your energy? How often do you let someone else's words decide your mood, your focus, your entire evening? Bruce Wayne built an empire of self-control by refusing to give that power away, and so can you. Part 4. Let your results speak. Bruce Wayne never announces his next move. He prepares, he trains, he studies, he executes, and only after it's finished does the world even know what happened. There's no press conference before the mission, no social proof before the proof itself exists. Most people do the opposite. They announce their goals before they've done the work. They talk about the business before it's built. They post the transformation before the discipline behind it even begins. This isn't ambition. It's an attempt to receive admiration before earning it. Bruce Wayne understands something most people overlook. Talking about your plans releases the same satisfaction in the brain as actually achieving them. Which means the more you talk about your goals, the less urgency you feel to complete them. Silence creates pressure, and pressure channeled correctly creates discipline. This is why the most capable people are often the quietest about their plans. They're not hiding out of fear. They're protecting their focus. Bruce Wayne never needs anyone to know what he's working on because his goal isn't recognition. It's mastery. And mastery doesn't require an audience. Part 5. Stop seeking validation. This is where most people lose their power. Validation feels good in the moment. A like, a compliment, someone agreeing with your decision. But validation is a loan, not a gift. And like any loan, it has to be repaid. Every time you seek approval, you become slightly dependent on the person giving it. You start shaping your decisions around what will be accepted instead of what is true to you. This is the psychology behind social media anxiety, behind people-pleasing, behind constant comparison. It's not really about the platform. It's about a hunger for external validation that can never be fully satisfied. Bruce Wayne's identity was never built this way. He doesn't operate from public opinion. He operates from an internal code, a standard that exists whether anyone is watching or not. This is the most important shift in this entire video. Self-respect doesn't ask for permission. Validation creates dependence. Self-respect creates freedom. And freedom is something Bruce Wayne protects more than anything else. Not freedom of movement, freedom of identity. The freedom to act according to his own values, regardless of who agrees. Part 6. Become emotionally untouchable. Nothing changes externally until something changes internally. This is the climax of Bruce Wayne's psychology, and it's the climax of this video. Becoming untouchable was never about being unstoppable in a fight. It was about becoming someone whose emotional state couldn't be hijacked by outside forces. Picture the version of yourself who no longer reacts to criticism. The version who no longer chases approval from people who never gave it freely. The version who no longer explains every decision to people who were never owed an explanation. The version who no longer fears being misunderstood, because their identity isn't built on being understood. It's built on being aligned with their own standard. This is what Bruce Wayne represents. Not a man without wounds. A man who refused to let his wounds control his behavior. He simply continues moving forward. Calm, focused, untouched by noise that used to control him. The final truth. Bruce Wayne became untouchable not because nobody attacked him, but because nobody could control him. True power begins the moment other people's opinions stop controlling your emotions. The loudest person in the room usually has the most to prove. Bruce Wayne never needed to prove anything, because real power moves in silence. If you're choosing silence over validation starting today, comment one word. Untouchable. Not for this channel, for yourself. Because from this moment forward, let your actions speak louder than your explanations.